Whose thoughts are you thinking? I know this sounds like a stupid question because your first instinct would be to say, you know, it's my brain, so it's my thoughts, obviously. Well, what if I told you you actually might be wrong about that?
What? What the f?
Okay, before you click off this video, let me explain. By the way, if you don't know me, my name's Pierce, and my goal is to provide the help young men need on their self-improvement journeys. And if you clicked on this video, that's probably you. So feel free to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Our thoughts are basically the embodiment of our, self-esteem. If you have high self-esteem, you're more likely to have positive thoughts. And if you have low self-esteem, you're more likely to have negative thoughts. And throughout our lives, we all experience, many events that shape our self-esteem. And since self-esteem is so important to living a happy and healthy life, you would think that it would be a priority in most people's, families or just communities to make sure everyone has, high or healthy self-esteem that allows them to be the best version of themselves. But as we all know, this couldn't be farther from the truth, in most cases anyway, because most of us humans walk around this planet just carrying so much trauma. You can see it in all walks of life, from the homeless person on the street to the CEO of the biggest company you can think of. Everyone has different levels of trauma, and it's not surprised that experiencing these traumatic events have a deep and long-lasting effect on your mind and how you think, especially if these traumatic events happened while you were a child. And since our young minds are like sponges, soak up so much information as kids, this makes us super vulnerable to rejection or just harsh criticism and its long-term effects on us. And this is something I was actually completely unaware of before I went through CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy. And going to therapy really helped me understand how, hearing negative things being said about you as a child affects how you think about yourself as an adult. It makes sense when you say it out loud like that, but it's something I'm sure a lot of people don't really pay much mind to. And the truth is, if you have any childhood trauma, especially if it was involving, physical, mental, or psychological abuse or neglect, you may have the words and actions of your abuser or your abusers embedded into your psyche. So much so that you actually struggle to tell what thoughts are yours and what thoughts are theirs. And this is a really uncomfortable and just saddening truth that I had to, go through, and I had to acknowledge in myself. And the next time you have these negative thoughts, or you kind of catch yourself just kind of talking shit about yourself, you know how it goes. Try and picture who in your life has said these things to you, or who's made you feel that way about yourself. And this will actually help you distance yourself from these thoughts and realize that they're actually not yours. And many of us who have, experienced traumatic events in our lives often have something called fight or flight responses. So fight or flight is basically like a automatic response that your body has when you're in any kind of potentially stressful or scary situations. Basically, it's like your brain perceives this new threat to be linked to the old original threat that traumatized you. And this event basically triggers you to either, fight the situation or run from it. And when this, fight or flight response activates, you're usually either more guarded or more avoidant. And this is because our mind is conditioned to try and protect us from, this perceived threat. Even though these, events possibly happened a long time ago, our brain is still conditioned to, try and protect us from this event. And the truth is, your mind will continue to, trigger these feelings of fight or flight until we actually allow ourselves the space and time to actually process these traumas that we have and start to understand how they affect us in our daily lives. And then we must make the choice to break the cycle. I know after hearing all of that, you may feel hopeless, but you're anything but that. And we don't pull the victim card around here. And that's because our thoughts and actions actually account for roughly 40% of our overall happiness. So it is still in our hands to create an environment for us to thrive in. And since thinking is a skill, with all skills, the only way to improve it is with practice. And we all know what exercises build our physical muscles, but what about our mental muscles? So the best thing for, max brain gains, in my opinion, is mindfulness. And mindfulness is basically being able to pay full attention to something. So just kind of slowing down and noticing what you're doing. And it's like being focused in a relaxed kind of way, if that makes sense. And it's basically the opposite of, distracting yourself with overstimulation. And a great way to actually flex your mindful muscles is to journal. So by getting your thoughts on paper, they stop feeling so abstract and confusing and become more measurable and concrete. And by journaling regularly, the thoughts that used to, come up and surprise you or come up and kind of freak you out a bit, they become less scary because you're actually able to self-analyze a lot easier. And it really just helps you to be more aware of what you think about yourself and allows you to track how your thoughts change over time. which is like super valuable for like anyone who's trying to improve themselves. And another great way to practice mindfulness is meditation. If your mind like immediately cringed at the idea of meditation, here's a chance for you to practice some mindfulness by pausing for a second and actually challenging that thought.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I know when you hear meditation, you might think, oh, you know, that's just a bunch of rubbish, or it's not very manly or whatever, something like that. But don't be so quick to dismiss it, because I actually had that exact kind of same attitude towards meditation before I tried it. So don't think that, you know, meditation is only for a certain type of people. It's something that I think everyone should do, especially men in today's society, because there's so much things out there trying to take our attention from us. So being able to take time and, you know, give yourself the attention you need to really process all your thoughts, and it's just really important for anyone who's trying to improve themselves. I've actually made a video about my meditation story that I think you'd really like. Alright guys, so don't just watch this video and, you know, just close it and go watch another video. I want you to actually take action. I want you to make some choices to actually better yourself. Don't let your past rob you of the life you want to live. I know it's so easy to, you know, play the victim and be like, oh, this happened to me or that happened to me, and that's why, you know, I'm like this. But you have to take accountability for who you are and where you are. Because at the end of the day, the only person living your life is you. Whatever happened to you, it happened. Now you have to make the best of the situation that you have. And the first step to doing that is subscribe to my channel. I'm taking the piss, I'm taking the piss. Alright guys, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. And remember, why just survive when you can thrive. Alright, peace.